Hey, welcome back everybody to another video. I got my hands on the Oakley Meta replacement lens here. So let's take a quick look and see. These, if you picked up the Metas and you wanted to change lenses, if you got a certain one, they're going to be available pretty soon on their website. So yeah, let's take a look and see what this one is, and let's go check it out. It's got a nice little pull tag here. You guys can see that. So let's open this up. That gives you a nice little satisfaction there. Open this up, and then we can just pull this out like this really nicely. So that's a nice packaging that they have for these lenses here. And you guys can see here that it comes in a nice little package. Not package, but it's got a nice little cloth here, and it's got little brochure and how to install them, it looks like. So we'll take a look at this and see how do you kind of walks you through the remove. It's got different languages that you can see there, so that's pretty nice. So you guys, it's got a universal language. Here's the lenses, and this is probably all the just all the information on there. So that's kind of there. But yeah, this is pretty nice. So you guys can see that it's got the Oakley here. Hopefully that can show up really good on that camera there. So you guys can see that. Hopefully that shows up in there for you guys. But yeah, let's open this little up and bring these out. I really like this little bag. So that way you can store your lenses that you have already on your Metas. So you won't have to scratch them. Oh, okay, I can see. You guys can see this. This is the blue water ones. So this is pretty nice. These are actually came available with the smoky brown lens covers, or not lens cover, the lenses are frames. But you can see that they're in there. I already put my fingerprints on there. These are Prizm Polarized. So this is pretty nice. And I'll show you guys really quick. I thought it had a little, this actually has a little divider inside here. So I'm gonna put these in here. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's got a little divider in there. So to separate the lenses there, so you can just slide them in there. And then once you slide them in there, then you can protect them there. So yeah, I'll kind of show you guys really quickly here. Let's go see. And then we can see here. Let's see, let's check this out. Check these out. I usually carry my cleaning cloth inside here in the case. You guys can see that I just had it, and I'll show you guys how I keep it in there. I just keep it in there just to wipe them. Previously, I was using the these blue ones, which is pretty nice color blue. Again, these are not kind of like the water white ones that from Oakley. These are a little bit more darker blue. You guys can see that. So now we'll take a look and see how these look on here. So let's pop these out. But what I'll do, let me put this down here really quick so you guys can see this. So I'm gonna go ahead and so you can see, I'm gonna just pop this out from this corner right here. So pop this one out, and then let me pop this other one here real quick. Usually if you get a little corner, it should be okay. Okay, pop those out. So these, now that I took them out, I can actually put them in this little protective bag here so they won't get scratched up. And the nice thing is, got this see, kind of like the material, the cleaning cloth. So, kind of keep them clean, at the same time. So you can probably just actually go like this and let's see if it'll actually clean them. Sort of it did. You can see this took out some of the fingerprints that I put on there. But what I did notice on these were actually getting a lot of fingerprints, but just had trouble, not trouble, but I was cleaning it constantly. So let's go ahead and make sure when you put them in, and this one has the Prizm P there. You guys can hopefully see that on the video there. That one's going to go on the right side of the lens there. And these no markings actually, go on this side. Oh, let me show you guys. Let's take a look at this also. Let me bring this other one. I want to see if there's kind of like the feel of it. And these water white, they actually feel a little bit heavier, and and they feel more. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but it kind of feels more like it feels more dense. So it's kind of like probably better quality. You guys can also see that these water white ones, they're much thicker. You guys can see that hopefully on that video there. Hopefully that picks it up. So yeah, hopefully that also shows up on there. Let me see. I don't know if that can capture that on that video here. Also, just right here. But it is, you can see the thickness on there. So these are much thicker on there. So let me go ahead and slide these in here really quick. Actually, I'm already liking the color on here already. Oh, let me take this. Make sure there's nothing in here. Let me see. Let me just make sure this is all cleaned out. Let me get a little rag here. Clean this out really quick. We're just gonna go in there so that way you don't have no just dirt from the previous one and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and I'll put this one in here real quick, and I can slide it in here. You guys, these corners here, slide those in here really quick on there, and then we can hopefully get that in that corner. And then that snaps right in. As you guys can see that, you heard that snap in there. So the same thing here, just kind of put this corners in here first. And you can you'll be able to feel it. It's got like a little groove in there. And you can hold them. It's kind of hard. I'm trying to show you guys at the same time and hold them. So there's like, the groove that where the lens goes in there. So make sure you guys get these two corners in there first, and then just you can just work your way in there, and then you just snap it in there like this, and then you can just kind of push from the back just to make sure they all sit in there really good. And also, like I said, this does come with the instructions here. You guys can see that in here. It actually tells you here. You can see how it goes in there. So that's pretty good. So they come with this little booklet here, so that's nice that you get it. So now that's in there, let me set this aside over here. Let me give it a quick clean to wipe down. Make sure you don't have any dirt on your cleaning cloth there. And let's see how good these clean. I know I had the other ones that it was a little bit, they'll get a little bit fingerprinted, and it was a little bit tougher to keep them wiped down. So it could be just the quality of the film that it has, for kind of keep it clean. So yeah, this is actually looking pretty nice. Yeah, these actually clean a lot, I think, better. I would have to, once we get outside and test it and take a look outside, then we'll be able to tell. But let me clean this real quick, and then I'll go outside, and then we'll see. So far, when I'm looking at this, it looks fairly good. And I'll put the specs of this here in the video here, so you guys can see that. So yeah, this is what it's gonna look like. It's pretty nice, actually. You can see kind of through, but at the same time, it's made to block. If you guys are out in the water a lot, these are made for that type of lens. It's pretty nice. I can see very good, clearly. Nothing foggy so far. Let me see. I think I had a little dust there. But overall, yeah, it's looking pretty nice. So can't wait to test these out outside, and then I'll show you guys and how they look outside, just in the daylight with the sun out there. So I'll put the video in here, and then we'll get it all together and see. But yeah, let's go take a look and see. We'll test them outside, and then we'll come right back. Yes, also for driving, like I was mentioning, also these work very, very nicely for that too as well. And again, these are the let me get these really quickly for you guys. Again, these lenses are the Prizm Deep Water Polarized lenses. So with the polarization, it works really good, especially where you have a lot of glare. That comes in really handy. And this color, the deep water blue color, is nice color. I really liking this color. And you can see here,
They would be good for these kind of would be considered under for all sun activities. Not that you can't use them without no sun activities, but you can use them for driving, casual. But you know they work excellent in the bright days like this. Today is very sunny, so bright. So this helps a lot, especially for the driving. And I do notice that it is on the darker, not darker side, but it is darker. And I believe these also give you like 11%. I'll put it in here in the notes, but I believe this gives down to 11%. Let me look really quick, see if I can find it really quick. But 11%, I think, uh, light coming in, light transmission. So, oh no, yeah, light transmission is 12%. So, it's good for bright light, like I was mentioning to you guys. So that's the nice thing about these. And the color based lens on this, I was kind of a little bit off because I told you guys it was kind of like a brown color or dark gray, but it's actually the color based lens on this is rose. So it is, it kind of looked a little bit like kind of like grayish, deep grayish color to me. But now that I see that the base color says it's rose, yeah, I can see the rose in there. So now, and I can tell the difference now more that I reading that it's the rose. But yeah, again, these are great. If you guys want to pick them up, and you have a set of metas already, and you want to switch out lenses, these are also nice lenses to pick out. And they'll have the transition type, which is the clear, the transition to dark. They have the ruby color, kind of ruby red color, these water whites, and then they also gonna have the polarized dark, um, like the dark black ones. But I'll put those on here, all the names on here on this as well. But yeah, if you guys are interested, again, these are working really good, especially for driving right now. These are looking pretty good. So you guys can see the color here. So yeah, I really like that color. It's looking really good on this see-through lens cover. Let me set this down a little bit so you guys can see here, and I'll open this up. And you guys can see that really good. That it actually looks good on that one. So yeah, we'll test this out. Like I mentioned, it does have that gray darker color in the inside, which will help. Like if you actually, let me put this lens in here so you guys can actually see. Hopefully that catches the difference with the lens. You see how much that glare actually helps out. So that's pretty good because that way, on any places there's glare, this is actually for like water and things like that, but it actually will work anywhere, like for driving, like I was mentioning to you guys earlier. So that works really good for that. And in any bright areas like this, as you guys can see out here, it's very bright. um, so we can see that. Let me see. Okay, so now we can, let's walk this way. Let me lower my volume here. Alrighty, you guys can see. All right, that's pretty low. You guys can see here, um, even out here, what they look like. As you guys can see out in here in the light in the sun, looks good on you, and it looks really, really good. Blocking the sun very good. As you can see, I can see that's very bright, and now it's I'm able to comfortably be able to, kind of like be able to be outside. Not that you can't be outside without no sunglasses, but at least with it helps out with the glare and everything like this. So
All right, so yeah, that's my thoughts about these. Very nice. I like them. Very good. I'll be keeping these on here for a while. I do have the ones that came here, which is the transition lenses, which is pretty nice. So if you like to go in and out and don't want to worry about taking out your metas, the transitions are very nice because when you're outside, it transitions dark, and then when you're inside, it gets light. So that way, it's just kind of like a normal pair of glasses. So you guys can see. So yeah, if you have any questions, please leave the comments down below, and I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Once again, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel. And yeah, subscribe. and everything. So just leave your comments below and I'll try to get to you guys as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.